We're switching out a front wheel bearing hub on a 2012 Dodge Ram CV. It's a similar model to the Dodge Caravans, this body style. This is a two-wheel drive, bolt-on wheel bearing hub. What you'll do is you'll jack the car up, put it on jack stand so you're nice and safe. You're gonna pull your tire off. The lug nut size is gonna be a 19 millimeter. And then next what you'll do is you're going to take the brake caliper off, and it's a 21 millimeter. And once you get your brake caliper off, you'll just go ahead and hang it right here and zip tie it up so you don't drop it and rip the brake lines. Then after that, I believe this is a 23 axle nut nut right here. You're going to loosen that and get it off. And then last but not least, this is a 15. Let's see if I can get the finger in the picture. There's 4 of these bolts right here that are 15s in size. Once you do that, you come back to this side, you loosen this all the way up to the end right here, and you'll tap the nut with a hammer to free the axle up from inside the hub. And then you can pull your hub off, disconnect your speed sensor wire. Your new hub should come with the speed sensor wire, so you can just disconnect it up in here and you'll be good to go. So I'll try to record more along the way so you guys will know. I did see another video on YouTube on how to do this, but the dude cussed. Like every other word was a cuss word, so I'm gonna make a PG version for some of you do-it-yourselfers. So let me go ahead and get the brake caliper off, and then I'll show you where to hang it and stuff. All right, you get your bolts loose, you'll pry this off. Check my pads are still good. Just simply hang it up right here. You'll take your zip tie, wrap it on around. Now we're not going to cause any damage to the brake line if that shit falls. Oops, on the PG part. Cool. Alright YouTube, I have a correction for you. The castle nut is 1.25 inches. I thought it was going to be a 23 millimeter, but it's not. So it's 1.25 inches. You'll back it out all the way to the end right here. And then sometimes the CV axle is seized up and you can't get it off. So you'll back it up to here and you'll tap it like so. And then you take your 15 and you got 4 bolts behind to get the wheel bearing hub off. But to get the bolts out, you have to have your axle loose to twist the threaded bolts all the way out. Like so. Alright, so once you get your 4 15 millimeter bolts out, you can go ahead and twist this castle nut off all the way. Because now it's free. Sometimes the old hub will be seized up to the spindle. So you get your little hammer, it's trash anyway, so you can tap on each side to break it free. Alright? You get another correction, YouTube, is the only way to get this hub off is to remove the dust shield right here, because your speed sensor wire is up behind it. It's just a 10 millimeter little socket. You just unloosen 3 bolts. There's only 3 that hold it on. I'll show you in a second. 1, 2, 3. You remove that, and then you can finish taking your hub off. And just set it off to the side because it's no good. And once you get your old hub off, go ahead and clean this part up a little bit. Just wipe it out, get it kind of as clean as you can. It ain't got to be perfect, but that's why the old one was kind of seized on and you got to beat it off. It's because all the corrosion. So if you just clean that up a little bit, you'll be good to go. And then once you get your new hub, just make sure that when you're sliding it on that you have your speed sensor wire on the left side, because that's where the dust cover was. So straight, there you go. You have a crooked video. Then you slide it on. Sometimes you'll get a new axle castle nut. If not, they're like 15 bucks for a brand new one at O'Reilly's. You line it up, tighten this down, and reverse your process. All your steps, you just do it backwards and you're basically done. Alright YouTube, that's basically it to switch out your wheel bearing hub assembly on various models. This one in particular is a 2012 Dodge Ram cargo van. It's the same as the Caravan. You're going to take your lugs off to get your tire off. That's a 19. Then you're going to go back here to get your caliper off, and it was a 21 millimeter. You got 2 bolts. Take this, put it up here, zip tie it up so you don't drop it and break your brake line. You need a 10 millimeter to get this dust cover off, to release your speed sensor wire. And your new one, your new wheel bearing hub should come with the speed sensor wire. And then you got to release this castle nut right here. You'll tap it to free it up, and then you'll have 4 bolts on the back side of your hub to get it off. They're 15 millimeter bolts, but you'll wiggle this back and forth to get the bolts to come completely out. You reverse the process and you're basically done. Put the tire back on and rock and roll. If you got any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments. I'll reply back accordingly. Hit the subscribe button and like if you liked it. If you don't like it, oh well.